Henry Waxman's going to put together some hearings in the House side, and he's going to bring in the healthcare industry executives and ask them exactly what I asked them to ask them, which is, hey, how did you accumulate all the, tell me about your stock options and tell me about your homes and how you accumulated your yachts and other things while you were denying people health care and they were dying. So tell me about that practice of rescission again, because I found that kind of interesting. So tell me about it. In fact, a couple of stories from that from today, okay? South Carolina court has just ruled that a kid with HIV who was denied coverage by his healthcare company is going to get $10 million. You know why? He was about to give blood and he found out that he had HIV. And so they're like, whoa, the company involved was like, well, that's a lot of money, man, to take care of this kid. He's 17, wouldn't expect him to get sick. Insurance, what name so? They're like, no. And they found a note from his nurse where they thought it said something that might be interpreted as possibly related to HIV. And they're like, he should have known. No, rescission. We're going to deny you coverage. And then later, in the middle of all this, a doctor comes out and says, no, the nurse note had nothing to do with that. It is absolutely clear, the doctors agree, he did not have a pre-existing condition and he did not know about it. He did not fill out any form wrong. They're like, yeah, on the other hand, it's still going to be expensive to cover him, so no. And they had a conservative judge in this case. And they came out and said, no, this is outrageous. You can't just not cover people. The whole point of your product is insurance. If they get sick, you're supposed to cover them. And you did this on purpose, $10 million. See how you like them apples. And that just went above another case where a woman had cancer and they got $9 million for it because they cut her and for the same things they knew that they had no reasonable basis to cut her, and they did just because they didn't want to pay it. There was earlier House hearings that showed that the top 5 healthcare insurance companies in the country make $300 million a year through this practice of rescission. Rescission, all it is as soon as somebody gets sick, you go back and look at their old forms. If they filled anything out wrong, you deny them coverage. Now, the president mentioned one of the extreme cases of that. He got it a little wrong. Let me tell you what it actually is. He said if somebody, and I had mentioned this before, that a woman had cancer, and they went back to her forms and said, oh, the president said, you have acne, you had acne and you didn't tell us, right? No, it turns out the real story is she did have acne, but once they found out she had acne, the insurance company said, yeah, you call it acne, I call it precancerous lesions. They're like, are you serious? So then they had the doctors from both sides analyze it, and they came up with a conclusion. Acne, right? It had nothing to do with cancer. And guess what the insurance company did? You see a pattern here? The insurance company said, yeah, you say tomato, I say tomato. I'm sticking with precancerous lesions. We deny coverage. And then she had to wait for 5 months. And then her tumor, the president said, doubled. It actually tripled in size while she's waiting to get covered. And eventually, again, she had to go and petition her congressman. The congressman had to get involved to make sure she got covered, which was absolutely her right. She bought the policy. They should have paid her off on it. Now, by the way, who came into the rescue there? Oh, right, the government did. Now, imagine the utopia that the Republicans have in their mind where there's no government. Well, if private insurance wants to screw you, they call it a precancerous lesion. Yeah, your pimple. Sad day for you. You're not covered. You're not covered if you have breast cancer. You're not covered if you have other kinds of cancer. You're not covered if you have HIV. Why? Because, hey, free market, baby. We decided to go in that direction. What are you going to do about it? You know what? What you're going to do is, 9 times out of 10, it doesn't matter if you're a Democrat or Republican, you're going to turn to the government, whether it's your congressman or whether it's the courts, and say, hey, wait a minute, this ain't right. This guy's screwing me. You're right. And you see, that's what you need for capitalism to work. You need refs, like judges, to come in and say, you did wrong. You violated the contract, as happened in the HIV case and the earlier cancer case. So now Waxman wants to hold hearings on this and say, how many times have you done it? How many people have died through it? How much money did you make from it? What did that turn into as far as your bonus is concerned? And by the way, yes, those top 5 companies also reward some of them do, I should say, reward bonuses based on how many times an employee has done rescission, how many times they've denied coverage for someone who got sick. That's what they base their bonuses on. No, but we should trust the private insurance companies. I'm sure they have our best interests in mind and not their profits. You'd have to be mental to trust them. So as Waxman is going to put together these hearings, which I think is fantastic and should have been done from day one. In fact, I suggested that they do it from day one, right? Now, so they're going to do it. So what do some Democrats say? They're like, oh, you know what? We're concerned because, grilling these insurance executives, it might be problematic. And there's so many problems in healthcare reform. Do you really want to just concentrate on the insurance companies? That doesn't seem fair. I was like, what kind of moron would say that? And of course, you read the article, and it turns out it's the blue dog Democrats who don't want to control costs, who don't want to control the deficit. All they want to do is protect their buddies in corporate America. But luckily, Waxman is not listening to them. They are going to hold those hearings. And you better believe I'm looking forward to it, and we're going to roll tape on those. So we're going to get some good stories coming out of there.